EXT. Bleached wasteland. Twilight. A slab of metal, half swallowed by ochre dust. The hatch of a derelict freighter squeals open, flakes of rust scattering like dead leaves. Heat breathes out, stale oil and spent circuitry. A lone man moves onto the threshold, silhouette a cut against the dying sky. His boots sound raw in the hollow bay. He carries no fanfare, only a worn blade at his side and the quiet of someone who has learned to listen for what the world is trying to hide. Int. Freighter bay. Continuous. He expects wreckage. Maybe looters. Not this. 5 figures hang inverted from ceiling restraints. Slender, foreign, hair sweeping the floor in different colors and textures. Their ankles are cuffed in faintly glowing fields that pulse on the verge of failure. Dust and dried blood mat their hair. They breathe, so shallow it could be mistaken for absence. The man stops. One of them, the eldest, forces her head up. Her face is streaked and gaunt. Her eyes are wide with something like calculation braided with despair. Eldest, hoarse. Please, save them. Her next words come out as a bargaining husk, the kind made when a throat is raw and options are empty. Eldest, whisper. Take me. Bind me to you. Do what you must. Just don't let them die. Silence. The man says nothing. He lets the blade at his hip hum into light, a thin humming edge that cuts the dark like a promise. He does not touch her. He turns his blade to the restraints. Quick, precise slices. The fields snap with a sound like wind breaking ice. The smallest sister drops first. He is already there, gentle, catching her before she hits the floor and easing her to her side. One by one, the others fall back into gravity's indifferent care. When he reaches the eldest, her body convulses as blood rushes to places it hasn't seen in days. He catches her without thought, lays her beside the others in the patch of shade beneath the open hatch. Man, you're not bargaining. You're not owing anything. Eldest, barely conscious. I meant it. Man, soft. People say what keeps them breathing. That doesn't bind you. He moves among them with practiced, tender efficiency, checking pulses, unsealing emergency packs, rolling cooling wraps into place. His hands are scarred but careful. He resists any look that might reduce them to property. Eldest watches him, confusion and a strange raw relief braided together. Eldest, muttering. I grew up thinking survival had a price to be paid with the body. That's all I knew. Man. Then let this be the first thing you learn that isn't for sale. He pours water into cupped palms, lets it drip to cracked lips, teaches a body not to gulp but to remember how. Cut to EXT. Freighter. Later. Sunset. The man ferries the sisters to the shade of his battered hauler. He makes 3 trips. Careful, deliberate. The youngest is light as a child and so fragile his arms nearly forget how to hold steady. Sweat beads on his brow. His suit pings warnings he ignores. Inside the small shelter, the sisters sleep in fits and starts. The eldest, when she can, tries to speak again, shame flaring. Eldest. What I offered. It wasn't false. Man, interrupting, gentle. It was fear. I heard it. You don't owe me a thing. Her face crumples at the honesty of it, the revelation that someone could act without expecting a payment. For the first time she sees herself as a person rather than a ledger entry. Montage, recovery. The man cleans a deep tear with antiseptic foam. He brands cooling wraps around swollen limbs. He shows one sister how to test a broken sensor. Laughter, small, surprised, bubbles when one spills water on herself. The freighter grows quieter. Dust settles differently. Life, threadbare and stubborn, knits itself back together. Night, the bay. The man sits on a crate, hands streaked with grime. The eldest studies him. He is older than his posture suggests. Sunlines cut his face in honest grooves. He shares nothing extravagant. Fragments, a partner lost, a life on the road, an unwillingness to let cruelty stand. Eldest. Why would you risk this? Man, shrug. Because leaving that open would have been wrong. Eldest. People in my world, they take kindness and turn it into debt. Man. Then teach them a new lesson. She listens, the idea of choice dawning on her like sunlight through a slit. Eldest, quiet. What I said before. Today I want to say it like I choose it. She reaches, trembling, and places her fingers on his knuckles. The contact is simple, human, earth-shattering. No obligation, only a fragile, voluntary offering. Eldest. I have never been allowed to choose. Not my body, not my voice. Today I choose. Man, steady. Then we start from that. They do not rush. He promises no immediate intimacy while she is weak. He keeps distance, giving care without claims. The change is subtle but seismic. 3 days. Dusk. They are roughly healed. Ashes of past bargains smolder in memory. But the sisters laugh, plan, and speak of home. The eldest, now steady enough to stand on her own, looks to the horizon with something like hope. A low hum threads through the air. The man's posture tightens. The sensor readout flickers. Man. We're not alone. EXT. Outpost night. Shadowed forms approach. Matte black skiffs, mercenary silhouettes. Drones hum. The old fear returns to the sisters' faces. Memory is a fast and brutal teacher. A voice crackles over an external comm. Trafficker over comm. That freighter's stolen property. Surrender the lot. The man steps onto the ramp, weapon held but not flamboyant. He is controlled. Man. They are not property. Trafficker, same. Laws on our side. Contracts say otherwise. A figure disembarks. Pale, augmented, appetite in his eyes. He smirks. Trafficker. You picked the wrong hold to hide in. The mercs fan out. The freighter is small. The odds look terrible. The man's hand lifts, but he doesn't shoot. He broadcasts a different frequency. An authority channel, flagged and clear. Man. This vessel and its inhabitants are under investigation. Interstellar authority. All units, stand down. Far above, fold space tears open. Authority cruisers drop like falling stars. Sirens slash through the night. The mercs hesitate, then splinter. The trafficker's smile hardens into a snarl as enforcement boots hit the ground. A rapid sweep. Digital contracts hover, then disintegrate under forensic analysis. Forged, falsified, void. The trafficker finds himself cuffed and dragged, legal language translating to real consequence. Eldest watches from the hatch. Tears and incredulous laughter tangled together. Eldest. You planned for them to arrive? Man. I prepared. Doing right shouldn't depend on luck. Authorities treat the sisters gently. Medical scans, warm blankets, soft voices. The word they give, citizens, falls on the sisters like rain on parched earth. Morning. The authority ships lift, taking the nightmare with them. What remains is small and strange and heavy. The newly freed, the debris of contracts, and one man who refused to convert rescue into profit. The sisters depart, embraces and vows exchanged in a raw tangle of relief. The eldest pauses at the ramp. The man watches. Man. You should go with them. Eldest, looking up. I know. But this is where I choose to stay. She lays her hand over his heart, feeling the steady beat beneath cloth and scars. It is not a claim. It is a decision. Eldest. I'm staying, not because you saved me, but because you helped me remember myself. They build a life measured in small repairs and shared watchfires. She learns how to coax life back into tired equipment, how to read weather on a dun sky, how to ride an old transport without fear. Int. Outpost afternoon. He collapses suddenly while installing a power core, a hollowing pain behind his eyes. She finds him, cradles him with a new fierceness. Eldest. You don't get to leave me. She keeps him through the night with cool compresses and water by the drop. Dawn finds him breathing easier. He smiles weakly. Man. You were hovering. Eldest, laughing through tears. You scared me. Recovery. Later. Weeks pass. They walk over land scarred by old wars. Green shoots push through cracked soil. Under a bruised sun, he kneels, not solemn, not a ritual of possession, but a request. Man. Stay. She kneels with him, hands warm over her midsection. When she whispers that new life is coming, hope is so big it almost begins to make space. Eldest. This will be life born of choice. They do not make vows to each other that replicate the contracts she escaped. Instead, they build something quieter. Mutual care, consent, and the daily work of keeping each other alive. EXT. Field, night. Stars wheel overhead as two figures stand side by side. Between them, a fragile, chosen future. If this story moved you, the courage of choosing, the work of healing, come share what line hit you hardest. If you want more tales where strength isn't taken but given, stay close. Your voice helps keep these stories alive.